Hello, everybody, and welcome to the latest episode of the Bolt Live. I'm sitting here with Spiros Thanopoulos, Caleigh Zwahlen, and Hailey Siedentopp, and we thought it would be fun, since we're all seniors graduating, to give our advice on how to survive high school. We dabbled in this a little bit in the last episode, but now it's all advice on how to survive high school. So, what would you guys say is your biggest tip to survive?
Ooh.
What?
No, they probably can't.
Callie's eating, so if you hear chewing, it's her.
Yeah. biggest tip for surviving high school.
Oh my gosh, this is like Nancy Classified School Survival Guide.
Yes.
If you upcoming freshmen or sophomores know what that is.
I know.
If you don't know what
if
it
they
is,
don't?
A lot of them don't. They don't remember shoes. Do you remember shoes? Shoes.
Oh my god, shit.
Yeah.
nobody remembers Chalk Zone either. I know that's like Nickelodeon.
I don't
Yeah.
know what that is.
Alright, biggest tip to surviving high school is
Watch Nancy Classified School Stuff?
yeah.
No, but that's for middle school.
That's true.
There's some.
They've already been through that.
Yeah.
Figure out who you are. Like, don't be like a chameleon
Yeah.
and like jump from group to group. Because that's what I did in the beginning. Is I had one group in freshman year, and I had another group, and I had another group, and like I didn't make a lot of close friends in that way. I just met a lot of acquaintances.
Yeah.
So like find out what kind of person you are, what group you fit into, and then make your group
Yeah.
so that you can like continue on. Because if I had made a group that I stuck with in freshman year, then by now, we'd be super, super close friends. But now my group is, because I jumped around a lot, is kind of like a close acquaintances
Yeah.
and like 2 or 3 good friends.
Don't just limit yourself to a couple people, though.
Yeah,
Do
no.
not do that.
No,
Yeah.
no, no.
Don't
Have
do that.
like
I think
people
go
that you can rely on and people that you know are there for you.
Mhm.
And also have other friends, but you need to be there for like all of them.
Yeah.
You can't just be that one sketch friend that like goes to everyone else and then doesn't help anyone because that's
not
that's
cool.
not
Yeah.
cool at all.
I think it's important to like be cool with everybody. Like, don't try and start beef with anybody. Like, if that happens, just try and like get over it. So you don't want to burn any bridges because like you don't know what's gonna happen later on. And like
You don't
Spiros is
know.
laughing from prior experiences.
You don't know who's gonna be hot in junior and senior year.
Oh my gosh. No,
That's
not that.
true. No,
that's
Okay,
such
also that. But that I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like it's good to know and be like nice to everybody because like you never know what's gonna happen like later in life.
Yeah, don't
That's
burn
true.
your bridges in high school.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then but like make sure you have like a close group of friends that like you're just super close with and like,
Yeah.
A good amount is like a car size, like 5.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to have
Yeah.
like, you either want to have like 10, like, like 8 or 9, because if you have 6, it's always one person that's left out of the car. And
Yeah.
that from prior experiences. Like,
Honestly, just
was that you?
have a
Spiros?
South Park size of group of close friends, right? Like
But be better than some.
Yeah.
no,
be,
but honestly, like
nice.
4
Like-
is the perfect
4
group
5
size
is a good amount.
for close friends. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? 'Cause
I think
then-
I've got a solid like 4 or 5 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
but
keep in mind, they don't always have to go to this school either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like obviously, be friends
Sometimes
with
it's
people
like
at school.
better almost.
Yeah, and then like you can make fun of everybody from school too. It's really fun.
Andy, that's
But,
not the point.
going
We're not
back-
trying to teach them how to do this.
Going back to the burning bridges.
We're trying to give them real advice on how to.
Yeah, this is
survive
real
life.
advice. Like dating wise.
Oh,
Yes.
Because that's like the biggest. That's
Oh.
the biggest tip I could say. Is
Speaking of things we dabbled in.
if there's a
Yeah.
if you
One tear goes down my face. It's like
I'm crying.
Yeah, we all remember Andy.
Oh yeah.
No, I earlier this year my friend, he wasn't my friend. I didn't like him at all, but I tolerated him.
There
And,
will be people like that too
Actually,
that you
it's
hang
very
out with
close
and you
friends
have
that
no
just
idea
tolerate.
why.
yeah, there's people that you're just gonna tolerate, and I would say don't just tolerate them. Either get them like out of your life, or like address the problem. Don't just like hate them, but like inside, and then just outwardly pretend to be friends with them.
And I'm gonna branch off of that real fast. Is
Don't be
learn,
fake.
yeah, learn to let things go.
Yeah.
Also
Because coming
that.
from someone who doesn't, it's just harboring things inside is not. Number one, it's not a healthy way to deal with things. And number two, you might think it's gonna help your relationship, but it's gonna wreck it in the long run. And I think if you don't have friends that you can come to and talk to with the problems that you're facing, or with the problems that you're having with them, then that's not a real friendship. And I think you need to talk to them because communication is the only thing that's going to save any relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. And don't date your friends' exes or your friends, girlfriends or anything. And if you're gonna date your friends' exes or attempt something like that, make sure you clear it with them first because it gets really awkward afterwards. No, it gets really you don't realize how bad it gets.
No.
Like I walk in a room and if he's in the same room, he'd like.
Oh, I think I know how awkward I can make some things.
And he's like the king of awkward.
You know what?
And he embraces it, which is good.
What-
That's also another thing.
Yeah.
Embrace yourself, and if you're weird, embrace it. If you like comic books like Andy, embrace it.
Yeah.
And I personally like to play sports, and so I played a lot of sports in high school.
And then beat up kids that like comic books.
And no, Andy, we've been friends since second grade.
I know. It's like the OG squad. But in terms of dating, for freshmen and sophomores, if you're going to try that, don't do movies as a first date. Don't do it.
Oh,
It's so awkward.
I'm gonna give you a good tip right here. A picnic. You get a picnic basket from the thrift store. They always have them, right? You get a red and white checkered blanket. Then you take her to the park.
Movies.
Yeah, no, and then and then you take her to the park with
You
that.
take her to a dark room.
You take her to that park. That comes after. You take her to a park. You lay down the blanket, and then you have the sandwiches you made and your drinks and whatever, and you have a cute date, and it's really cute, and the girl will love it.
Yeah.
I speak from experience.
And it costs all of about $5.
It costs about $5,
Yeah,
and then
it really
after
isn't that much.
you go and you make out behind a tree at the park, and that's. I'm giving real advice here.
Psychic? I don't know.
PSYCHIC.
Yeah.
We're working on Hagira's notebook at the same time as we're recording this.
Oly.
Yeah.
No, but yeah. So incoming freshmen and sophomores, take them on a picnic date. That's much better than a.
Don't do movies because
Don't
it's
do
so
movies.
awkward.
Movies are when you're already dating.
Yeah, because then you have to do the odd reach around, where you're
Yeah, don't
the
do that.
arm. You got to be the.
If they do the reach around,
Okay.
You're
I've only been on one date, and make sure you plan before, because we were gonna go bowling, and it was it was a group date kind of thing, and then we got to the bowling alley, and there was an hour wait for one lane, so then that didn't work, and then we were well, what do we do now? So make sure you plan.
Yeah.
Make sure you have a good diet, so that when you're getting ready to go on a date, you're not surprised by the fact that you ate Taco Bell the night before, and then you have to
plan ahead.
Yeah, plan ahead is basically what I'm saying.
He's trying to say,
Don't
plan ahead.
don't eat Taco Bell before you go on a date. Is all I'm saying, because then you're gonna.
Know the definition of the words that you use.
Oh.
Because that has been a huge problem of mine. Is that sometimes I'll try to sound really smart because all of my closest friends are in all the IB classes, so sometimes I gotta step it up. But sometimes when I step up, I miss the step and I fall down 7.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna talk big, buy yourself a pocket dictionary.
Also, don't be that one idiot that just studies the dictionary and just uses big words, but has no
Yeah.
idea what they mean. Am I right?
I have some people that I know like that, and it's it kind of bothers me a little
Don't.
bit. Just be yourself. Don't try and be somebody else.
Here's
Be
the thing.
a better version of yourself. Don't try to fake
Being
someone else. Just try and be better than
Yeah.
your core.
And
by trying to be better,
You'll
you'll
become
get
better. Yeah.
and also, don't. It's fine to like your teachers and be friendly with them, but don't be friends with the teacher, or don't let it come across as you're friends with the teacher, because everybody will hate you.
It depends on the teacher.
It depends on the teacher, but don't be that guy that's always chumming up to the teacher.
Oh,
right.
That's for core classes like English, math, science. But for your elective classes,
electives, it's different.
Electives, your teachers are always going to be your friends in those classes.
Because those are the ones that you want to have. Those are the ones that you.
Yeah, you
if there's
chose to
any
have that class.
Teacher to become friends with, it's the elective teacher.
Yeah.
Because if that's what you want to do, you're gonna be in that class for 4 years. If you look bad.
Yeah.
Well.
I'm trying to think of some other little tips here and there. Tip number
Pack
75.
Pack
I
lunch.
wish I packed.
I've never bought a
yeah.
school lunch, and
Never.
I
Oh.
don't regret
There's a
that.
great Snapchat that I don't know if it sort of went viral or whatever, but you know that like SoCal high school
Speaking
confessions,
of pack lunches.
those accounts.
Okay, those accounts are really rude. Don't follow
Yeah.
rude accounts on Twitter.
But,
because
like,
it just makes you sad.
Yeah,
Follow
those-
them, but don't tell people
Don't
you
be
follow
rude.
them.
But you know those SoCal accounts and whatever? There's one that like keeps getting passed around from our school where they opened up like the cheese cube like thing,
Oh, yeah,
and
it's
it's all
moldy.
moldy and everything. Do not eat the school lunches. They're sickening.
I've never bought a school lunch. I like in my 12 years of school, never.
It's I've bought the pizza that's not actually from the school though,
Yeah.
like Domino's.
Oh yeah, get pizza ordered to the school.
Oh,
That's
you
what
can
I've
totally
done.
do that. You
I've
might,
done that before. That's
yeah,
fun.
you might not think you can do that, but you totally can. And okay,
Nothing
Here's-
makes you feel
yeah.
more superior than walking through the halls with a Domino's box in your
Oh
hand.
yeah.
here's 2 tips. Either so if you get it through the front gate, then walk up and act like you're supposed to be there. Don't act suspicious. If you act like you're going, like you have a purpose, and they ask, "Is this for you?" Say, "Yes, this pizza is for me," and they won't question you on it. But if you act suspicious, you're like you're dodging around. You're like, "Oh man, is the pizza coming?" They're gonna like say, "Hey, you can't order pizza to the school." But if you act like you're allowed to, no one's gonna question you.
False confidence will get you through pretty much anything.
That's
in
right.
high
I
school.
think
Honestly,
yeah.
that's, like,
Whether
one of the
it's
biggest things
dating-
ever.
False
If you
confidence.
Whether
act-
it's
if it-
dating or ordering pizza, false confidence will get you through pretty
As
much
long
anything.
as you act like you know what you're doing, like
No
nobody's
one's
gonna
bother
question
you.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one knows what they're doing anyways.
Exactly.
So if you're like, if they perceive you as a leader, then you are now a leader.
Mm-hmm.
True.
That's a good thing. Yeah. If you're in groups, if
You're
no one's
the-
taking charge,
Yeah.
take charge. Even
Yeah.
if you don't know what you're doing.
Also, like in group projects, just avoid those if possible.
Oh yeah.
And never do it with your friends because it just doesn't end up well. Everyone always gets
Yeah.
in fights.
Yeah.
Just like take charge, and if someone's slacking, tell them, but just do the work anyways because don't let your grades suffer for somebody else.
Yeah.
And like tell the teacher honestly if someone.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I know that no one really wants to be a narc and no one wants to be the one that tells, but in the end, it's gonna be your grade that suffers, and
Mhm.
your grade is gonna carry on. Sadly, probably a lot
Mm.
longer than that friend will.
Yeah.
So if that's really something that you guys are clashing about, and they're not gonna help you, even though it's your grade, then that's something that you need to deal with. And just a side note on grades, your grade is definitely your responsibility. It's not the teacher's fault.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you are having trouble in a class, there's ways to get help for that. And if you're not taking the extra step to get the help that you need, even if the teacher's bad, if you need, you can go to a different teacher and get help.
Oh
so
yeah.
if your grade suffers, you can't blame
Yeah.
the teacher
If-
for it.
People that blame other people for like their grades just
It's-
bother me.
Yeah.
If you have a bad teacher, find out who else teaches that subject,
And go get
then
help,
yeah,
yeah.
go
Because
chum
they'll
up
be
to
more
that.
than
yeah.
that's their job. The job is to teach
Yeah.
you, and if they're here, then they love what they do.
Yeah.
So it's not
Well,
gonna be a problem for them.
For the most part.
Theoretically, they
Yeah.
should love what
They
they,
should
do.
love
There are a
what they
few teachers here that most definitely do not love what they do, but
We're just gonna
Yeah.
yeah,
assume they all love
And,
it.
yeah, we'll
But you
just
know,
say
that's life.
Class.
Yeah.
But
wise,
this-
You're gonna encounter people
Yeah.
that aren't doing what they want to be doing.
If
And
you're the type of student who like, I have this in my CP class. I don't know, but like I've encountered this in CP classes, is students who don't pay attention in class and then complain when something like happens in class. Like the teacher will write on the board, "We have a test next week,"
yeah,
and next week comes and like, "You never told us we had a test." You know that you messed up.
Yeah.
You know that we had a test. Don't like say we didn't have a test because I can tell you everyone around you is calling you an idiot right now. They're like, "Who is this idiot?" Like it was on the board.
Learn how to read the board.
Yeah.
this kind of
Um,
what?
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I like going off like classes and stuff. Like know your limit.
Yeah,
Don't try and like be somebody that you're not. Like if you're not good at English or not good at math, like don't try to take the highest class possible just to make
Yes.
it look good because a bad grade in a high class is worse than a good grade in a lower class. Like
yeah,
if you can't do it, like don't try. Like don't put yourself through the stress.
Know your strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
and the counselors and teachers don't help freshmen by scaring the living crap out of them about college the moment they enter the gates. Like it's literally August, whatever the day we start, and then the first day they're like, you know, this is gonna go in your college application, and and they scare the crap. Honestly, if you're a freshman, get good grades, but don't even let the word college enter your mind until like halfway through sophomore year,
Yeah.
because all you're gonna do is stress yourself out.
Stress levels.
Yes, get good sleep.
You
Honestly,
realize
it's
Get
not
good
worth it.
Yeah.
Realize what level of stress you can handle, because I've seen too many kids bite off
Breakdown.
more than what they can chew,
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
just stress themselves out the whole year.
And
For
they're totally
example-
unhealthy.
Yeah.
For example, if you're doing full IB,
Oh my goodness.
don't do drama at the same time.
Yeah.
Learn the balance.
Don't
Don't take an after-school elective and take all IB classes.
Yeah.
That's
Like
just
if you
asking
can
for
handle
trouble.
it, go for it. You're incredible
Props to
and
you.
you're
Well,
made of
yeah,
iron.
if you're-
but if you can't,
We're not all Stacy Lau or Angelina Mendez. Like
They
we
just
can't.
got-
all-
Did you guys hear? Stacy's valedictorian and
Oh.
my Stacy.
and Patricia, I think, is salutatorian, and Angie is highest GPA.
Oh, congratulations
Yes.
to all three of you. But yeah, if you're not those three people, then don't take an after-school activity and try and take full IB because you won't do it. You're just
Yeah.
gonna stress yourself out.
Yeah, this is for the general
I just
people.
think everyone needs to like if they think they can do it, like they probably can. And
Go
like
for it. Yeah.
go for it. But if you get to a point where you're like beginning to be unhealthy, like
Yeah.
realize what's important, and like if there's one assignment that's only worth a few points and it's already like 3 a.m, like just go to sleep.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
your grade, okay, it will make your grade a little bit lower, but
You can get it.
your health is way more important
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
an assignment.
Those worksheets aren't that important.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And like going off of the health thing, I'm huge on like exercising. I'm very
Yeah.
I like to be an athletic person, and I think that because my freshman year I didn't do anything, and honestly it absolutely affected my work ethic because I was like lethargic.
Yeah.
I know what that word means. Just
Lethargic.
I forgot how to
Yeah.
say it. And I didn't want to move. I didn't want to do anything, and it was reflected in my grades as they like dropped. And then once I sophomore year, I joined a sport, and I ended up
Water
taking
polo.
water polo,
Heck yeah.
and I ended up taking 2 honors classes and passing them with like semi-flying colors. Being like
like
Like a
I
B.
got a B in honors history and then an A in honors English, so I was good.
debug.
But I think D-Buck.
Oh.
But I think just get active in something. If
Be
you-
involved.
Yeah, be
Get
involved.
out of the house. Don't
Yeah.
just come home every day, do homework, and then go to sleep.
Yeah.
It's
it's-
not living.
Like
But
it doesn't have
also-
to be. It doesn't have to be like with school, but get involved in something. Thank
But
you.
also get a hobby because
Mhm.
then, because as bad as it sounds, there are going to be a lot of days where you're just sitting at home doing nothing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like that's just how life goes. You're not.
Especially if
Yeah,
you don't
some
do
days-
anything.
Some days
You're
you'll
not-
have 13 hours of homework, and the next day it'll be like I have nothing to do.
Yeah.
But like there will be days where you're just at home at night doing nothing. So get a hobby
Yeah.
so that you can actually occupy yourself,
Exactly. Yeah.
I
so you don't
recommend
feel.
the ukulele, but just
I really
understand.
Oh, don't bring your ukulele to
No,
school.
that
I
was my
swear.
second-
Don't bring.
My second note was that just because you play the ukulele doesn't mean everyone wants
Oh
to
my
hear
gosh.
Don't bring
the
it everywhere.
There are those people that walk through the halls with their ukulele, and you're
That's
like,
me,
please.
but
stop."
I know I bring it for my own pleasure,
Yeah.
but I don't play it around people as like a common courtesy because I know that they
Mhm.
don't want to hear "Hey Soul Sister" for the 30th time.
Or Riptide.
Or
Guide.
Well, that's also what
Classic.
we were saying. Don't be that guy that plays his music out loud in the
Mhm,
halls.
hallway, yeah.
It's
No one wants to
you're the
hear it.
worst person at this school. You're the worst
Okay,
person.
that's a little rash. Let's not go that far.
I don't know. I think
No.
they're the person I hate the most. Is
Yeah,
that
that's the
one
person I
type of
hate the
person?
most is
The guy who
music in
walks through-
public.
Yeah,
Well, I'm not talking about a particular person. I'm
No,
talking
but-
about like that.
Yeah.
the guy.
Right.
Like you
The
are
general-
that guy that walks around school with his speaker in his backpack, playing it so loud where you can't even hear what
And
it
it's
is. but
always
you know it's
crap.
Yeah.
It's always crap
It's always,
music.
like,
It's
rap
never.
music.
Yeah, it's always
I
rap
feel like this
music.
is turning into a rant.
But you've never heard of any of this garbage music either. It's not like they're playing like, and I don't listen
like
to them,
some
but it's not.
oldies or
It's
something.
not like they're playing like the new Drake album or anything. They're just playing some random rap song that you've never heard of, right? And it's
If they played
It's-
"Lemonade" by Beyonce, it'd be a different story.
if they're
But-
playing Eminem, it would be one thing. But
I don't know if these guys aren't really slackers, but I'm the slacker.
yeah, I'm a slacker.
Well,
I'm
not
the
as,
definition.
not as
I'm
much as
very
I
weird.
am. I'm a slacker, and listen.
Well, thank you for owning that.
Yeah, no, I that's another thing. Own up to what you
Exactly.
are. People will respect you more. Freshman year, I was doing like those honors classes, and I was like, I'm gonna, do the IB stuff. And then sophomore year came, and I was like, is this really how I want to live my life?
For
so
the
I
next
took
3 years.
Yeah, for the next 3 years. So I took some honors classes,
Yeah.
and then I realized, no, I don't want to do this. So I dropped down to CP classes, and it's okay to drop down to CP classes because you will feel superior. You're gonna feel so good about yourself
Yeah.
Because
But I think it's also important to push yourself.
well,
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, but
but
within limits.
it's within limits. But it's okay to drop down a CP class. Like I was
Yeah.
taking.
Well,
High
I dropped
level-
to CP history
yeah.
this year, and I don't regret it at all.
I was
Don't-
taking high level math and up until actually
You were
last
in math
semester.
now?
Yeah, up until like last semester, and those classes are good to push yourself in. But if you know you can't handle like
Yeah.
honors English,
Don't
drop
take
down a CP.
And
You're gonna feel so much better
Or at
about
least, like,
yourself.
S them.
Everyone there, yeah.
don't be the guy that openly hates the teacher too.
No.
It doesn't matter
Yeah, you
who-
have to respect
It doesn't matter who the teacher is, but don't be the guy that openly like cusses out the teacher in class and like yells at them
Yeah.
and then
That's
like
just disrespectful.
and
Yeah.
then
No
says
one
stuff
likes that
under
dude.
their breath that they know the teacher can hear anyway. Because you're not only do you make yourself look like an idiot, you're also making it awkward for everybody else because then you try and have to gauge what mood the teacher's in. You're
Yeah.
like, oh, are they still in a good mood or are they trying to like?
And it affects the way they teach too.
Yeah,
Yeah, don't be that guy.
you're ruining
Because
it
when
for
you're
everyone.
upset,
And you're
I
not
think it's
tough.
just,
You're
like-
not tough. Talking smack to somebody who can't do anything back. I mean,
Yeah.
physically anything back
I think
is not tough.
being
You know what I mean?
respectful is like
Yeah.
is more tough than not. Because like I know when I'm angry, it's hard to sit down and just okay,
Be nice to people.
all right,
Yeah.
thank you, please. Like it's way harder to do that. So I have more respect for someone who can get upset and be calm in that situation than someone who can explode and get into a fight. Because I can get
Yeah.
into a fight.
Dude,
It's no-
And the thing is, you're in high school. You're gonna have that one teacher that just everybody hates.
Well,
and
not
everybody-
necessarily, it just gets on your nerves. Like,
Yeah.
But pretty much, there's always that one teacher that the whole class is like, I hate them so much. You know what I mean? But
They're still an elder. You still have
well,
to-
also
Just get
talk
through the
about it.
class.
The moment you walk out of the door to that class, feel free to say whatever you want.
Mhm.
But don't be that guy in class that's like, they hand out a worksheet and you're like, this is so freaking stupid. I can't believe this. What an idiot. You know what I mean? Like,
I would say also like own up to what you say, because if you're gossiping, it's gonna get back to the person you're gossiping
Exactly.
about.
Oh.
It's absolutely
Just don't
unavoidable.
gossip.
I'm terrified.
And
I'm
like-
terrified of
Okay.
all the horrible things I've said about people.
No,
I'm terrified.
Yeah,
I'm right here on
listen,
the
we
spot.
have two sides. We have Hailey, who is the voice of reason, and we have Andy, who is really realistic and like
little pessimist.
yeah. But honestly, we know everyone's gonna gossip. Like
Yeah.
some people won't, and that's good. That's a good goal. But
Mhm.
eventually, someone's gonna say one piece of gossip.
Or you're gonna vent to somebody.
It's gonna be so funny.
Make sure
It'll
Andy,
be so
Andy,
funny
Andy,
in the
don't
time.
encourage it.
No, but it'll be so funny in the moment.
in the moment. In the moment, it'll be good. But make sure if you're gossiping to someone, you gossip to a close friend who's gonna keep your secrets.
Make sure it's good gossip too, because there's nothing.
Andy,
No, but
Andy.
there's nothing worse than having somebody hate you over some random thing you
Yeah,
said
if
that's
you're
not
gonna
even
Like
gossip,
that
something
funny.
you said in a final presentation during English.
Whatever.
If you're gonna gossip, at least make sure you're not saying like something totally like wrong and fake that's
Yeah,
gonna
make sure
destroy
you
someone.
at least know.
Why can't everyone just be nice to people?
Because it's not
That's a-
realistic.
Oh, believe me,
wish.
Well, if
Haven't
people
you
work
read the
harder to be nice, I think
Believe
it's
me,
gonna
I
happen.
tried
Yeah.
it for about 6 months in freshman year, and it didn't
6
work
days.
out.
I've never
Yes.
tried it, and I never
6
will.
minutes. It's the
I think-
worst.
Oh.
Oh.
Doesn't matter what I think.
To be continued. Thank you, everybody, for listening.